Welcome back to the Scam GT. It is round 2 in Hillside Raceway and it's a new year. Everybody has switched cars except for a certain man with the Scuderia. Switching over, these cars are a little lower power, easier to control, as evident by the scramble in the first race at Monza. Here's Trumpy in the 488 GT3. He will be quite happy to continue working with Ferrari, but everybody has entered a new team. Qualifying results are as they stand. Trumpy taking P1 by only 300ths. All of them getting rather astonishing qualifying, save for Tangit, who has been disqualified due to an engine issue with his Lamborghini. James is on cameras and the race will start now. And the lights are green, the races are off, it's a bad start for Daniel. What happened there? He's dropped down to P5. Here's Tommy starting in P3, he's looking for a move on the first lap. Very aggressive as he attacks here, Boris. Oh, it's on the inside, but then Danjit crossing over. What is going on here? Absolute chaos, and immediately the grid has shuffled. Tanji going from P5 to P2 in under a minute here. This was absolutely ridiculous for a start, but a one that Tanji will be very happy with in that Huracan. Now here's Tommy looking for a move on the inside. He steals away P2. Tanji's not going to let that happen. He tries to attack on the inside, but it's not enough. Down as they run through the longest straight in the calendar here. They're going to attack, and it's into the last few corners. Tommy taking and holding P2, but he's looking fast enough to possibly challenge Trumpy to P1. The Ferrari didn't get a astonishing start as in Monza, so this might show that the vehicles are a little more competitive. Here's Boris in P4 in the BMW looking for a move. Tanji running wide. That's Boris's opportunity. Tanji attacking the inside here. He's gonna hold. Oh! Trumpy hitting the curb is too aggressive. Tommy absolutely flying all over the place, and that's Tanji getting involved into a collision with Boris. What is going on here? No yellow flags triggered surprisingly, but race control has deemed it safe enough to continue. And here, Tommy is right up Boris's bumper. He's going to attack the corkscrew. This is a good spot to attack, but a very high-risk one. He's going to attack on the inside. It's not enough. Boris in P2, holding it. And there's Trumpy taking off in his 488 GT3. Listen to the sound of a twin-turbo V8 again. A sound we're all very familiar with by now. Here's Boris now. He's looking challenging. No, the rear spins and he loses traction. There's Tommy taking notes from Boris. But he just gets off good enough to take P2 away. What? Oh my gosh. And then Boris moving on the inside. The face of a guilty man, perhaps? We'll see the race replay. But a yellow flag has been triggered due to the three-way collision. And they will retain their spots here. Trumpy in P1, Tanji in P2, Boris in P3, Daniel P4, and Tommy in P5. Not the best start for him. But hopefully after the yellow flag goes to a green, we can see Tommy climb back up because he's been looking especially fast this time around. But Trumpy will give him a challenge. Or perhaps Daniel. Here's a race replay.
Was there an issue with the clutch, Daniel? Daniel, response?
That's Daniel's excuse, and here is the incident that triggered the yellow flag. You can see Tommy maybe not going fast into that corner, and Boris clipping into him. Here we go. Green flag is waved, and the race is started again in lap 3. Now here's Tommy in P5. He is looking for every chance to climb back up to that P3, maybe even challenging for the front as he was earlier. Very aggressive cut through that, but there are no track limits in the Scam GT. Luckily for them. The racers are running 160 over. Oh, what is going on? Trumpy is colliding with the wall. He loses traction, and that promotes Danjit to P1. My gosh, what happened with the Ferrari? Spun out, and he is down to P5. This is a very disappointing start for Trumpy. Here's Boris now in P2, though. He is looking happy to be up there in the podium, but challenging possibly for first place. Lap number 4. Oh, Tommy striking the wall and making the camera go crazy as he collides with Trumpy, who's now in P4. He's down to P5. It was a promising start, but not quite enough. Here's Boris getting a rather bad exit out of the corkscrew. Now you see Daniel close to capitalizing. That crimson Mclaren is all up in his mirrors. And you can see here, We can watch from Tommy's camera. Oh, it's slippery and it's too aggressive into that corner. Lap number 4. And here is Boris attacking the curb. He's too aggressive as well. That's Daniel up to P2 and Trumpy into P3. Back on the podium, exactly where he would love to be.
Are you okay?
As you can see, Team Lex is contacting Tommy. Tommy is not happy to be in the place he is right now. Car is maybe not working as he would like. Now we can see the middle 3, Daniel, Trumpy, and Boris packed together rather tightly. Under a second gap between all of them. Tanjeet trying to run away with that P1 right now. But here's Boris closing on Trumpy. Can he make a move in the corkscrew? This is where a lot of drivers have been making moves. Ooh, it's not quite enough. Trumpy gets a rather solid section here. And there's Trumpy running through. But the car just doesn't have enough power. You can see Daniel's just like widening the gap away. And Boris is already clipping the... Oh my god, another error! And quite a crazy set of events to happen in such a short amount of time. A mistake being done by pretty much all of the drivers here. Maybe something to do with the car setup or the track itself, but here we can see Tanjeet's pure highlights here, pure speed from P5 to P1, and it's only lap 6. This is a promising race for Tanjeet, who finished on the podium last time. But he's looking for big points this time around, and it will put him quite high in the championship. Here's Tanjeet in P1, Daniel in P2, and Boris in P3. They're quite close together here. Tommy reporting issues with the Lexus, which is possibly why he's down in P5 here. It's not a... What the... And even Tommy asked the same question as us. Because that was odd. Maybe the front splitter has fallen off from the contact. It's hard to tell.
There's throttle in turn 8 and turn 9. You are matching Daniel's time in all other corners.
And Ferrari pestering Trumpy to go faster. Oof. Maybe not good to have drama with the team here, but Trumpy is feisty and he knows exactly how to drive that Ferrari. If he can get that one right past Boris into the podium, he will get quite a healthy spot. But the Ferrari seems to be lacking in the corners and lacking in grip at the same time. What have they done to the car? Hard to tell. Here's Boris in P3. He's very secure where he is. Attacking the corkscrew here. And now you see Daniel is incredibly close to Tanjeet. Under a second. And they're doing tenths. And you can see Tanjeet is 6 times slower than his previous lap. Not good. And that's every bit of Daniel's chance in that crimson Mclaren to overtake Tanjeet, but Tanjeet just needs to keep it clean here. We can't even see them from here. Boris is looking solid here, but look at Daniel. He's gonna make a move on the inside. Tanjeet braking rather early. He's gonna make a move on the inside. It's not enough. Tanjeet holds that P1. Daniel's gonna make a move. No, he's too far off, and he loses grip. He's gonna attack the curb, and he's against the wall. Oh, Daniel's chances of getting P1 so close, but so far. But you live to fight another day. And he's very displeased with that one. But we are in lap 8 of the GP. Many more laps to go. Trumpy reporting a failing gearbox, likely, in the Ferrari, which might explain why his car is slowing down in pace relative to qualifying runs here. Perhaps Ferrari's made another mistake, but here's Tommy in P5. Well, he's going to need to push a little faster, but it seems like a lot of mistakes. Oh, Tanjeet squirrely as he exits that very problematic corner. But he's just have enough pace to lead into lap number 9. Boris looking quick and consistent here. You can see he's not that far away from Daniel, who's up the road, possibly able to challenge for P2. Here's Trumpy, P4. Not very happy with this one, but again, the car is giving him problems. There's only so much a driver can do when a car doesn't want to work with him. And Boris sets the fastest lap time, a time identical to Trumpy's qualifying P1 lap. Boris is on a roll. And here we can see he's attacking the corkscrew. This is a very challenging corner. It's a hit or miss corner. If you mess it up, you will lose a lot of time out. And now we are running down the straight here. Daniel's looking for a move on the inside. He's not bad as he tries to challenge for P1. And there's Boris, not too far behind, but look at the gap of time. Boris Trumpy has lost quite a lot of ground here. Oh, he's gonna need to make that up, but the Ferrari again, maybe not working as he would like. Here is Boris in P3 attacking turn number 1. He's going to look for a move in these sections here. This is quite a challenging section for many drivers as well. If Boris can make a move, and Daniel makes a mistake, that's Boris looking for every chance here. He's all up in his bumper, in his windows, in his mirrors. He is going to see a lot of BMW behind him. Now we're attacking down into the corkscrew. That's Boris looking for a move. He's really close to Daniel now. Can he make a move? He's on the inside, and Daniel's too wide. Boris running through it, stealing the position away from Daniel. And it is a perfectly, yet aggressively executed overtake, and Boris climbs to P2. Daniel in P3, almost so close, but losing grip as he attacks the corner with a little too much aggression. And we have Trumpy here in the Ferrari, in a bit of a no man's land right now. Tommy just close enough though. But they're gonna need to fight a little harder and get more consistent laps, because the front, well, it looks like they're quite fast, but a little too reckless. Tanjeet holding P1 in that Lamborghini quite well. Look at the gap he is established here. He can drive pretty securely in that P1 if he can just continue the pace he is doing right now. And we don't even know if Boris can challenge him, but we have to see. Watching as he attacks the corkscrew. Here is his timeline, by the way. Starting in P3, now in P2. Not a bad race overall from Boris, especially after a couple of race restarts. He is in lap 11. And here's Daniel's timeline. Started P4 with a bad start, putting down to P5, but now in P3. Pretty good recovery effort. Very, very good recovery effort, especially considering these two took each other out in the first race. But here's Trumpy, unfortunately, starting P1 and now down to P4. This is a bit of a disappointing and rather disheartening race for Trumpy here. And here's Daniel, though. The Mclaren is fast down the straight. He's looking for a move on the inside. Boris holding his spot just ahead. He's going to move on the inside. Daniel's too ambitious, losing grip exactly on that spot. And here's Daniel, against the wall, but he is continuing anyway. But what is going on? Tanjeet has lost ground. Suddenly, the two fighters are just on Tanjeet's tail. Now here's Boris's chance. He is notoriously quite good at the corkscrew, as seen. We are on lap 12. He's going to look for a move down the straight and into the high-speed flat-out bend. He's following, trailing, reeling him in. He's gonna make a move. Oh, not enough. Tanjeet takes the apex right away from Boris, and slight collision, but luckily not enough. Now Boris is gonna look for a move. He's on the inside. He takes away the position from Tanjeet, and he runs into lap 13, stealing it away by just a bit. Absolutely aggressive overtake, but one we love to see. And we're going to enter the next few bends. Oh, Tanjeet colliding with Boris. He's a little too slow in this area. What's going on? Oh, Tanjeet getting airtime, and Daniel striking Boris. A familiar sight, but luckily one treated with respect this time around, as it seems they have been advised to be a little more moderate and with a little more camaraderie this time, it seems. But they are still battling in a rather respectful manner. Here's Boris on the inside of the corkscrew. Tanjeet is gonna run away with the V10 Raging Bull down the flat-out bend. That's Boris trying to reel his way back, but he's not that far away. Oh, Tanjeet making a mistake that's gonna be detrimental. That's going to be Boris and Daniel's chance if they can climb up into lap 14. Here's Trumpy in P4. He's trying to keep it together. The Ferrari's is not working though. Oh, this might be a disappointing one unless there is a race restart triggered by a yellow flag. Then I'm not sure we can see Trumpy trying to get back there. Here is the next few sequence of corners, and we see Tanjeet making a mistake, running wide, striking the wall. That's going to be bad. He's losing consistency. I think he can see the two in his mirrors, and there's a lot of pressure there, a lot of pressure in position 1 to hold and keep consistent laps. It is a challenge. Listen to the cars sing as they run down the straight into the corkscrew. Oh, that's Daniel looking slow in the corkscrew, but Boris is looking mighty fast. He's flying down the flat-out corner. He's gonna try to make a move here. Tanjeet's just ahead. Oh, he slides! Tanjeet loses the rear. Boris making a very clean overtake. No challenge or issue there. New race leader, Boris, fighting really hard. He was very consistent and, dare I say, quite scary to watch if you were leading the race, with just how robotic his driving is, in the best way possible, of course. But you can see Tanji's looking for him. He's running wide into the grass, having a little beach day as he tries to hunt down that BMW and slap it out the way with his horns. The gap close to under a second here. They're attacking the corner flat out as we hover across. They're gonna run down the straight into the corkscrew. This is where Tanji can possibly move if he's aggressive enough. He is very close now, looking for a move on the inside. It's not quite enough. Boris gets a pretty good start. Exit, and there's Tanji drafting Boris. He's really close now, trying to move on the inside, but it's not enough. Now he's on the outside. Can he make a move into the turn? It's not enough here. Boris leading with very consistent laps. We are in lap 15, nearing the midpoint now. There's Tanjit in the Lamborghini. The V10 is screaming for a chance, but Daniel in his blood red McLaren looking to wage war. If he can catch them, that is. That's Tanjit, though, looking too wide into the sand again. Well, it's not summertime anymore, unfortunately, but he still wants every chance to get the sand. Here are the standings. Boris, Tanjit, Daniel, and Trumpy and Tommy. We can see now. Oh, camera is going quite crazy, but we are attacking the corkscrew. Is this a move for Tanjit? Can he make a move? What is going on? Boris makes a mistake. That's Tanjit doing a P1. Back in a P1. All he needed was some patience. And now Daniel looking for a move. Throwing a dummy on the left side onto the right side. It's a genius move. Can he secure the move though? Oh, collides with the wall. That's going to be a bad exit. A very bad exit. Boris just allowing patience to be there, and he's overtaking the two now. The two losing traction. Boris looking aggressive. Get out the way. Tanjit into P1 again. Lap number 17 of the race has commenced. Look at him rotate the car effortlessly. But that's Tanjit looking for a move. Ooh, it's a slight collision. Oh, it's a triple collision. Oh my gosh, it's striking the curb. That's going to be a yellow flag for risky driving and racing here. We're going to need to see a race restart. And I think I see two people that could benefit from this. Trumpy and Tommy in the back, possibly able to make their move and climb right back. But we will have to have some race replays as this yellow flag commences. Let's take a look here. Now, this is the move that allowed Tanjit to climb into P1. Looks like Boris had some issue with his steering and struck the wall or made some mistake, but that was quite effortless there. And that was Daniel's genius move, throwing a dummy on the left side, going on the right, but it just wasn't enough. Striking the wall too much and running wide. So is Tanji trying to desperately hold that position. Here is the overtake earlier that allowed Boris to lead the race. Tanji is fast, but not consistent enough. And green flags will wave now. Here we go. Lap 17 and the race has restarted again. Trumpy and Tommy have caught up by now, and they're looking for a chance. Here's Trumpy about to make a move on the inside. Here he strikes Tanjit, and they're both out. That is Tommy stealing away P3. All he needed was some time, and he was back where he needed to be. But look at this. The two are feuding arch nemesis. Are nemesis? Maybe it's nemesis. He attacks on the inside. They're neck and neck as they attack the corners, but they're colliding against each other. Tommy can make a move, but he's just not feeling confident enough. And look at that, securing the inside. They are striking door to door, bumper to bumper. They are completely neck and neck as they attack. Here, we're going to move into the corkscrew. Let's see who can get a better exit. That's Daniel on the inside, Boris on the outside. Oh my gosh, and the racers have got up by now. That feud have allowed the pack to close up, surprisingly. But look at that, Tommy may have got a move, but that's Tanjit's Lamborghini. It's fast, it's furious, and he attacks on the inside. Tommy's gonna try to make a move, but it's not enough. Let's see if he can make a move in the next spot here. That's Tanjit in P3. No, he slides, and that's Tommy running through and screaming away from the Lamborghini into P3. What is going on? Daniel slides out. He slides and loses traction. Boris back into P1 without any drama needed. And let's see if he can hold this, because Tanjit, Daniel, and Tommy. What? Tommy strikes the wall, and it's a collision. That's a yellow flag, endangering both Tanjit and Trumpy behind. That is a very, very dangerous one. He strikes the wall, and it's very dangerous here. But yellow flag is reconsider now, and we will be restarting the race quite shortly. Oh my gosh, Tommy's struggling with the car. Luckily, under yellow flag conditions, he won't have to worry too much, as the pack will have to just reassemble. But you can see he's having a few issues with the car, even though he's looking blistering, absolutely blisteringly fast. Here's a bit of a pseudo race here. Trumpy in P4 playing a little game with Tanjeet. Up ahead in the road, he's gonna have a little go at seeing if his racecraft is still there. There's Trumpy attacking here. He is much faster than Tanjeet, though. He's looking for a move on the inside, and Tanjeet goes wide, but again, no overtaking is allowed. A little game amongst the two, but a yellow flag will go down into a green by the time Tommy catches up. This has been a very hectic series of laps. Here's a race replay. We need to review what happened here. There's Trumpy taking the traditional racing line, but Tanjeet on a very unconventional one, and that leads to their collision. It's hard to tell who's at fault, but it seems to be a racing incident. Yellow flag is still up, but the green flag will trigger once again in the same spot. Lap 20 out of 30. We are in the midpoint of the race. The green flag is waving now, and the racers are back. There is the top three looking for a fight. Tommy's gonna look for a move. Will the same mistake be commenced? No, they're safe, and they've clearly learned from their mistakes here. Now we're going to attack into the first corner. Here are the standings as they are. Boris, Daniel, and Tanjeet in the top three. Daniel is all up in Boris's rear end, looking for a chance to push him out the way. What is going on? Tanjeet on the inside, stealing P2 away from Daniel. He is in P2 now, but Trumpy's looking for a move as well. Here's Tommy watching from the back. Maybe Tommy can play it safe again and get an overtake if they all crash. Let's see if this holds true. Boris holding P1 quite solidly. Oh, it's a slight collision, and of course, it always rings true as Tommy climbs his way back into P3. Trumpy in P5 now. He's very unhappy with this for sure, but he just has to be patient there, as exhibited by the slide there from Tanjeet's Lamborghini. Very aggressive cut. Luckily, no track limits exist, or everybody would be penalized here. Here's Tommy in P3. He is incredibly close now, reeling Daniel in lap 22 of the GP. He's going to be moving on the outside. There's no grip on the outside. It's not enough. Daniel's going to retain P2. Tommy's looking for a move. It's too aggressive. No, he loses traction, and he's out of contention for the podium into P5. Disappointing. Too many mistakes despite his blistering pace. And what's going on with Trumpy striking the curb, going wide and losing ground as Tommy climbs back up into P4. Here's Trumpy in P5. Tommy's gonna make a move. No! It's a collision, a triple collision again. But the marshals have deemed no yellow flag. Here's a race replay. Tommy running a little too aggressive into that corner. Very ambitious, overly so. Too much speed in there. And Trumpy colliding with the wall and going right around. That is, as seen by that black blur, Tommy in the P4. Trumpy and Tommy having quite a tussle as they attempt to climb back to the podium. But Tanjeet and Daniel seem rather secure where they are, and so does Boris over here. We're entering lap 23. We're a little bit... Oh, we've passed the midpoint, but there is Tanjeet pushing Daniel out the way. Get out! He is a raging bull, and he's looking for a move back into P1. Here's Tommy in P4, trying to do something, but the gap is too wide. Oh, spinning, rear end just flying around everywhere like he's on a trailer. Here's Daniel, though, looking on a move on the inside. He's incredibly close now. P3. P2 is so close, but it's too ambitious. They're going to run down a straight at full speed here. Over 160 kilometers climbing. There's Tanjeet looking for a breaking point. And that's Daniel, too ambitious again, striking the wall as previously seen. But Boris, well, the work is cut out for him because all he has to do is continue the pace he has now. Lap 24, 6 laps left of the Grand Prix, and Boris might be able to steal this P1 back. Daniel very displeased at his loss of P2, but he just has to keep battling because Tanjeet, well, a good defender, but clearly losing consistency. There's Daniel right behind now. Boris holding ahead. Oh, it's a slight collision with the wall. That's not going to be good for his chances here. But we're going to watch him attacking the corkscrew on the inside, holding it. Look at the gap he's established for himself. The drivers have just entered the corkscrew by now. Daniel and Tanjeet duking it out. And they're going to go side by side. There's Tommy and P4. They are side by side, neck and neck. Daniel's looking for a move. He's on the outside, scraping past. It's now passing Tangy. It's a double collision. Oh my gosh. A very, very chaotic set of battles here. And Daniel has cleared his way into P2, but Tangy is not going to let that slide as we enter lap number 25 here. They're going to be side by side as they attack down the straight. Tangy's looking for a move. Daniel's gonna run wide. He's running wide. Tangy's back into P2. Back into P2 now. He's gonna attack the corners. He's going to want to retain this position, but Tommy now is in contention for the podium. Look at the amount of space between them. It is so short now. But all Tommy has to do is keep it consistent, keep it clean, and he might be able to steal P3 away from Daniel if Daniel continues to lose ground here on Tangy. Tangy's looking quick, but just not quick enough. There, Boris is up ahead, and it's a familiar sight. The entire grid scrabbling and battling as Boris just climbs away. We've seen this in the Scam GP with the Formula 1 cars, but here, it's still the same as always. Now Tanjit and Daniel are looking for a battle. What happened here? Tanjit had a horrible exit, and that's Daniel climbing up. He gained 2 positions, especially from his rather awful start, where apparently he wasn't paying attention. And he is in P2 now, but, well, Boris is looking a little sluggish through here. Well, doesn't really matter because the gap he has established is absolutely astronomical. Tommy running too wide again. It's a bit comical, that one, but Tanjit and Daniel are still looking for a move that P2 would be a good point. And that's Daniel talking to his team. There is no chance he can climb at this point, he believes, because Boris has quite the gap. Tanjit riding the wall. He's going to look for a move. He's closing in, reeling him in by a rod. Oh my god, striking the wall. That's going to squander his chances because we're entering lap number 26. If Daniel can keep it clean, Tanjit might have a problem. And you have Tommy. What happened there? Boris reporting a broken steering wheel, and Tommy looking like he fell out of his car. It's likely he wasn't. And that is the Scuderia reporting a puncture on the rear of Trumpy's Ferrari, putting him out of contention for this race. A very disheartening one, especially seeing his astronomical qualifying. We are in lap 27. We are on the closing stages of this race. Daniel's in P2. Can he climb back? Boris has an issue. Look, he's off the road. Daniel has a chance here. Look at Boris looking behind. The gap is just so wide, but that might be Daniel's chance. It's lap 27. He has 3 laps. 3 laps to climb back into P1. It is a absolutely competitive race. Boris reports that there is no issue with the front tires, but it's evident there are issues. He's having some consistency flaws towards the end of this race, lap number 28, and look at how close Daniel is. He is so aggressive, sliding all around. But look, he is so much closer than he's ever been. Boris is going to have to pick up the pace and hopefully conserve the tires because he is overheating them. Here's Tommy, P4. He is closing in the Tanjit. It is an absolute amazing race this track has brought us here. Now Tommy is going to attack this long sweeping corner. Can he make a move? Can he climb back up? He's going to attack the corkscrew. He reports that he needs more risk. More risk. Does this mean a pit maneuver on Tanjit? We don't know, but we'll find out. It's lap 28. We're entering the closing laps of the GP here. And look at that. Tommy's making a move. He's going to try to... He's so close. Oh, he slides again. Another mistake. And that's going to definitely hurt his chances here. But now look at Daniel. Boris is already in sight. He is so incredibly close now. The gap is closing under a second if he can keep it consistent, but it's lap 29. He only has to finish this lap and one more. Boris is in P1. Daniel is in P2, looking for a fight. Tanjit and Tommy almost nearing one. It's boiling. It's simmering in the back while these two are going at it. But Boris exits the corkscrew. He's clean. He's tidy. It's insane, his consistency through these corners, because he seems like he's picked his act back up. Now look at him attack the corner here. Will he slip out? No, he's extremely flat through that corner. It's remarkable to watch. Lap number 29, can Daniel possibly reel it in? We will have to find out. We're entering the last lap of the race. Lap number 30. Daniel is closer than ever. He's gonna make a move if he can climb back. Boris is looking consistent but conserving because the front tires, well, they're being worked overtime, but Daniel has been waiting for this moment, waiting for this move. He's going to look for every chance to climb back, to secure that P1 finish. Running down the straight, he's quick. The corkscrew is a defining corner, one of the most defining corners on this one. If Daniel can close the gap, he might be able to have a go at Boris's P1. But Boris holds the crown as he runs down the straight. Where is Daniel? Is he there? Is he far? He is close. He's going to make a move. He's going to try to. If he can get this corner exit perfectly fine, he might be able to secure P1. He's close now. No, he runs wide. Boris holding P1. He's fast, he's furious, and consistent, taking P1 in an absolutely remarkable race. And he celebrates his victory with smiles because that is P1 for Boris and P2 for Daniel. An absolutely unexpected grid shift. Tanjeet in P3, solid, almost getting ready for P1, but not quite there. Trumpy having issues, and Tommy in P4. Not a bad race, but it could have been better. The Drivers' Championship is separated by barely anything now, and we will see what happens as we enter Tacoma International Raceway. Who will take the crown?